Pennsylvania still doesn't have a budget, and the gridlock could start costing students.
Gun violence is a problem across the country, and Philadelphia is no different. Temple Hospital is doing something about it.
And we'll take a look at the biggest week in Philadelphia fashion. Hello and welcome. You're watching Temple Update. I'm Becca Hendrickson.
And I'm Phil DuPont. Pennsylvania is in its 7th month without a budget, and the deadlock in Harrisburg means students may have to start paying up.
Temple will be heading to the state capitol on Tuesday for the annual battle for the budget, but this year they're just hoping to get the money the state already owes them.
Please fund my education.
That's the message students want their representatives in Harrisburg to hear. Pennsylvania's budget crisis means Temple isn't getting $150 million in state funding.
It's time to put aside your differences and hoist yourselves up by the bootstraps and get this done.
Temple is going up to Harrisburg just asking state reps to pass the budget because if they don't soon, then everyone here on campus is going to have to reach for their wallet.
It's very, very difficult to isolate students and say you will feel no impact based on this if we get no money.
In-state students get a $5,000 discount on tuition from the state. Right now, Temple is taking out loans to compensate, but if that money doesn't come through, then in-state tuitions could rise.
We wouldn't lay that on students all at once. How much we would have to actually do is still unclear.
Still, students we talk to say they're worried about the future.
A lot of people like me who rely on state programs to fund schools rely on them to get their crap together.
TSG is also headed to Harrisburg for the battle, and they want lawmakers to know the effect the stalemate will have.
Going forward, if universities aren't able to get those advances, you're going to see students dropping out of college because they won't be able to afford to continue.
Temple Update reached out to the lawmakers representing Temple's district in Harrisburg. We're still waiting on a response.
Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf has announced that he has a treatable form of prostate cancer. The governor told members of the press that he will be undergoing treatment during the next several months and that it will not affect his gubernatorial duties. Wolf encouraged all Pennsylvanians to stay on top of their health and schedule routine checkups with their physicians. The Uber driver killer of Kalamazoo, Michigan, is now facing 6 counts of murder. Police say Jason Dalton already admitted to, quote, taking people's lives. 6 people are dead. 2 others are still in critical condition after Saturday's shooting rampage. Dalton had no history of mental illness or a criminal record.
The murders in Michigan may have some people thinking twice about using Uber.
Our Melissa Steininger is live on Broad Street. Melissa, how are Temple students feeling about this situation?
Here on Broad Street, you could see taxis pass by, but instead, many students are now turning to their mobile Uber app. I went around campus to talk to students to see how they really feel about getting in a random car with a random driver.
Probably like in a week, I would take it at least 2 to 3 times.
Uber has become a staple of transportation in Philadelphia and especially for college students.
Times when I go out to parties, I'm a commuter, so I like to take Uber from here to home.
Students say they use Uber mainly because they feel it's safer for them at night.
So at night especially, we don't really want to be walking or it's harder to grab a taxi down there, so we'll just order up Uber because it's easier and quicker.
Despite what happened in Michigan, students say they'll still choose to use the app.
Usually with people, so it's not a huge deal that's crossed my mind.
I've thought of that scenario before about things that could happen, but nothing really that makes me more nervous about using the app.
Uber says it's doing everything it can to provide the safest experience, performing background checks and showing drivers ratings.
Do look at the ratings. I think that if you have a 3 stars or more, it's really important to pay attention to that.
Uber ex-driver Greg Finkelstein said he had to go through a background check before getting hired.
So for me it was very simple, yes, very easy. I mean, basically I got an answer in 3 to 4 days. If you're clean, so you're good to go.
Safety doesn't go just one way, with incidents being reported of Uber drivers getting attacked, like this video of a California driver getting punched by a rider. But Greg says he has not felt threatened while driving in Philadelphia.
I'll be very honest, like I'm saying, I did this over a year and I never had any major problem.
Here's the thing, UberX, where Uber drivers use their own cars, is actually illegal in Philadelphia, while Uber Black, where Uber provides the cars, is regulated by the PPA and is under the safety regulations of a limousine service. Reporting live on Broad Street for Temple Update, I'm Melissa Steininger.
Thank you, Melissa. We have an update in the Bill Cosby trial. Former Temple employee Andrea Constant has asked a judge to lift the gag order she signed with Bill Cosby back in 2006. Constant claims that Cosby is using the agreement as a bullying tactic to intimidate her and other witnesses. Bill Cosby's preliminary hearing is still set for March 8th.
Temple Hospital is starting a new program to help area residents deal with a serious and chronic issue.
Updates Aaron Patterson is live from Temple Hospital. Aaron, how is this program helping the community?
Hey guys, that's right. So trauma unit nurses are able to sign up here for Fighting Chance program. Demonstrations and education are what the nurses are able to do while they're here. Let's take a look.
It's a scene that residents of North Philadelphia face on an alarming basis. After treating more than 1,200 gunshot wounds last year, Temple University Hospital's Fighting Chance program strives to help the neighboring communities.
These people are out here and they want to help, and we see every day they show up to the trauma bay trying to help their victims of this community, and now we're just empowering them with the knowledge of how to do it safely and more effectively.
The initiative emphasizes bystander response after a shooting. The 2-hour course teaches community members essential procedures in the wake of an attack.
We've set out to train as many folks living in the neighborhoods that have the high rates of gun injury as possible to provide this care.
Dressing the wound, learning how to move a victim, and learning pressure points to stop the bleeding are just some of the things people learn at a Fighting Chance program.
I was very concerned because I have 3 children of my own, raising them in an area, and I want what's best for them. Empowering and it keep you motivated.
It's helping our young kids, or young people out here, do better around the neighborhood.
The hospital has already trained more than 80 people with the goal of training a massive amount of residents.
This is really just a natural extension of all of our efforts to provide quality health care and prevention to communities that surround the hospital.
A Fighting Chance has plans to expand beyond the 25th district and produce a training video.
The program is currently bi-weekly, but they hope to make it available every week. Tim and his crew are also hoping to make the program more available across the city. For more information or how to attend an event, check out templeupdate.com. I'm Aaron Patterson. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Aaron. The Geezy track is closed until March 7th. Temple's facilities management team is doing water and soil testing on the area. This begins the process of building an indoor rec facility on the site. According to the university, this is not related to the proposed football stadium. And it may only be February, but the weather is certainly warming up, and the end of the month means spring break for Temple. Here's some important information about the break. The last day of class is tomorrow, February 26th. Dorms close Saturday at noon. If you still need a housing extension, it'll cost you $50 through the housing portal. The last meal will be served lunch on Saturday. Meals resume at dinner on March 6th.
I'll tell you what, Becca, it feels downright tropical after all that Arctic weather we had last week.
Absolutely, Phil. We now go live to Alyssa Jerome outside Annenberg Hall. Alyssa?
Right now, it's cloudy skies, but we are ready and preparing for spring break. I'm happy to tell you sunny skies are coming. Anyone who's staying local or traveling back home on the East Coast, no rain, your commute will be fine. If you're heading to the Big Apple and you're going to New York, the only chance of rain we have is on Thursday. Otherwise, every other day, your commute will be fine with the usual city traffic. If you're traveling down south to the Sunshine State of Florida, don't worry, no rain, your flight won't be delayed or for any hurricane watches, and your drive will be normal. You'll just have to worry about how much sunscreen you're gonna bring for the beach. For anyone en route to the west, for sunny LA, you're going to get just that because there's no rain except for on Thursday. So if you're traveling through the States on an awesome road trip, we have 40 to 60% chance of rain in the Midwest region. Otherwise, if you're flying clear skies, it's gonna be sunny, a lot of fun, and have a good time, get tan, and just worry about being awesome during spring break. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much, Alyssa. I'll be sure to stay awesome. There's a very important, quickly approaching deadline coming our way. Temple's priority deadline for FAFSA is March 1st. That's this coming Tuesday. This is not the deadline for all FAFSA submissions, which is June 13th. If you submit your info by March 1st, you'll receive the best possible financial aid offer, according to Temple.
Temple students studying in London are enjoying all the food that the city has to offer, but sometimes it's just good to have a little taste of home. Here's Temple Update's London correspondent Stetson Miller.
London is a city known for its fish and chips, but its food options are endless. Filipino, Mexican, Chinese, and Hungarian are just a few of the cuisines offered to Londoners on a daily basis. But one famous American meal was missing from the city's food scene until recently.
In a city of 8.5 million people, where something like 70 different languages are spoken every day, and you get food from all over the world, I just couldn't believe you couldn't get cheesesteaks here.
So J.P. Tatey was the first to bring cheesesteaks to London. Because the traditional cheesesteak ingredients aren't available in the UK, the company has to make its own cheese whiz, butcher its own meat, and created its own roll recipe. It's been a hit with Londoners, even though some of them aren't familiar with Philly food.
I've not had a cheesesteak before, no. It looked really good and I thought, I'm really hungry, I haven't had anything to eat all day, so I think this is going to sort me out.
It's hard to miss the Phillies red pinstripe truck here at Spitalfields Market, but for a Temple student like myself, it was too hard to pass up the opportunity to try a cheesesteak. Other Temple students visited the truck and told us their opinion on the sandwich.
It's really well seasoned. It's not exactly like any other cheesesteak I've had in Philly. You can tell that they put a lot of work into it.
While the study abroad students here are over 3,000 miles away from main campus, they now can still have a taste of Philly here in England. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Stetson Miller.
Still to come on Temple Update, Alyssa Jerome will be back in the Weather Center with our 5-day forecast. And the basketball team took on conference rivals this week. One matchup could make or break Temple's March Madness chances. Find out how they did.
And Philadelphia Fashion Week has come and gone. We'll give you a behind-the-scenes look at Philly's most stylish event.
TempleUpdate.com, including a Temple group that's working to save lives in Flint, Michigan. Temple Update will be right back.
TempleUpdate.com has all the latest news from Temple and around the city.
Our Kelly Antonacci is at the news desk with the top headlines from the web.
Hundreds and thousands of people gathered at the Pennsylvania Convention Center last weekend to audition for NBC's The Voice. Aspiring singers came from places as far as New York and even Phoenix, Arizona to sing a verse and chorus for the producers of the popular reality series. Those who made it through this round were given a red ticket for the second audition this week.
Me and my friend, we walked in and we were like, because like I do street performing on the city, so like when we went inside, I just went in there and gave them my best, and they actually like what I got, and they gave me a ticket to go through. I was sure enough and never let you go again, baby.
Now, Philadelphia may not be the fashion capital of the world, but Fashion Mania took over the city last week. Philadelphia Fashion Week took place last Wednesday to Saturday night. Both men's and women's fashion was on display as models and designers from the area took part in the show. It even included a showcase put on by the Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia's own Gino from Gino Steaks was a special guest for the show's finale Saturday night. Students and faculty gathered at Anderson Hall for a discussion about the Black Lives Matter movement, focusing on Philadelphia. The event Wednesday was part of the Can We Talk lecture series focusing on race issues. Linda Shavers led the event and briefed attendees on the movement's immediate relationship to the city and other local issues. Residents of Flint, Michigan are still struggling to gain access to clean drinking water, and one Temple organization is making strides to provide relief. Rebecca Rosenblatt has the story. Sorry for those technical difficulties. Remember to check out TempleUpdate.com for all the biggest stories on Temple and around the world. I'm Kelly Antonacci, Becca and Phil. Back over to you guys.
After Temple football's historic season, 3 stars are headed to the Combine. We'll tell you who.
And the wet and muggy weather gave way to sunshine, but is it here to stay? Alyssa Jerome has your 5-day forecast coming up.
All right, we're clear. 90 seconds.
Temple basketball is on the bubble for the NCAA tournament right now, but a tough loss in Tulsa certainly didn't help their cause.
It certainly didn't. Tennyson Coleman is at the sports desk. Tennyson, what are the chances of Temple getting a ticket to this big dance?
How's it going? How's it going, guys? It looks like the conference championship will decide who's going dancing for the American. Hello, Owl fans, and welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Desk. I'm Tennyson Coleman. Let's jump right in. Temple men's basketball headed on a 2-game road trip to the Great Southwest. The Owls flew into Tuesday night's matchup against Tulsa, coming off the heels of a win against Houston on Sunday. Obi Anechionio with the shot here from three-point land. He led the team with 17 points. Temple would go on to blow a 12-point lead in the first half and could never bounce back. They get blown away by the Golden Hurricanes 74-55. It was the annual Play for K game, and the women's basketball team was decked out in all pink. Temple headed into the half down by 6, but this fast break layup by Aaliyah Butts in the third quarter helped the Owls rally. She scored 22 points on the night. Temple rides the green wave to a 72-67 victory, and the Owls earn win number 800 for the program. Women's basketball is also on the bubble for the big dance. Temple updates Dan Ray has more on their chances and the trio leading the way.
The Temple women's basketball team hasn't gone dancing in 5 years, but with an 18-9 record that's good enough for third in the AAC, the Owls are on the bubble for their first NCAA tournament berth since 2011.
We just have to do a better job of recognizing how we're playing people and not letting them go to their strengths. You know, we feed off of each other.
The trio of Aaliyah Butts, Fayonda Fitzgerald, and Tanaya Atkinson has a lot to do with the team's success. All 3 are averaging over 12 points per game. However, Coach Cardoza stresses the importance of playing as a team.
At any given time, you know, all 5 guys out on the floor are capable of scoring for us. My guys are always going to fight to the end because that's who we are. We're fighters.
When Tulane hit 2 late 3-pointers Tuesday night to cut the Owls' lead to 3, that fight was evident.
I want to get it back. That's what I was thinking. Even though things are not always going the way we might want them to go, it's okay. We still find a way to support one another and find a way to come out swinging.
With only 2 conference games left to play, the Owls are gearing up for the AAC championship on March 4th. If they're going to make a run up in Yukon, they're going to need the likes of the trio to carry them there. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Daniel Ray.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 Temple Owls will showcase their talent at the NFL Combine this weekend. According to CBS Sports, linebacker Tyler Matakevich, defensive lineman Matt Ioannidis, and defensive back Tavon Young are all projected to be drafted within the first 5 rounds. For Owls fans, it will be fun to watch how the NFL Combine will affect the former Owls draft stock. Well, that's all we have for the Sports Desk today. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at @TU_SportsDesk. Phil and Becca, back to you.
Coming up on Temple Update,
Alyssa Jerome is back in the Weather Center with your 5-day forecast.
Temple University. Temple Update will be right back.
Right, 90 seconds.
Welcome back. This week, President Theobald dedicated a bell at one of Temple's lesser-known buildings. It is hanging on top of Schusterman Hall. The bell will ring every quarter hour. Theobald dedicated the 150-year-old refurbished bell to his late parents.
Now, Becca, this weather has been downright muggy. I love the warmth. I love that it's coming back, but can it just come without the rain?
Hopefully some sunshine is on the way. Alyssa Jerome is back in the Weather Center. Alyssa, give me good news.
Thanks, guys. Yes, all that rain we had yesterday has cleared away any sign of snow, and I'm happy to say that we are heading for sunny skies as we prepare for spring break. Like I said, today it is 52 degrees outside, and the wind speeds continue to race in at 14 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Thankfully, there is no more rain for today, but cloudy skies will continue throughout all day. If we look at what Frank the frat boy is wearing, he is still keeping covered for our temperatures in the low 50s and for the wind speeds. It's best he keeps that umbrella away or else it'll be flying away with him, but he'll need to keep that sweatshirt on to stay warm. If we look ahead to our 5-day forecast, again, I'm happy to say we'll ring in the weekend and our spring break from school with sunny skies and only minimal chances of rain. Like I said, today we look to gray skies at 50 degrees with temperatures dipping in the low 30s at night. Friday, we can see the sun making its way for the week with only partly cloudy skies with 42 degrees. It means pretty windy out with speeds at 60 miles per hour. Saturday, we have our first full sunny day just in time for anyone staying local during the break. The wind finally calms down. The wind calms down and the temperatures remain a cool 40 degrees. Sunday, we get a warmer sun with highs in the mid-50s and a low of 42 degrees. No chance of precipitation, so we're rain-free for the weekend. And finally, Monday does bring a 30% chance of precipitation, but skies remain clear and sunny in hopes of a continued warm week, which I mentioned for us earlier. So that's it for us at the Weather Center. As always, remember to follow us on Twitter at TU Weather Watch for updates while you're having fun in the sun this weekend. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Alyssa. When we can both agree that there's a lot to love about Temple University.
I certainly say so, Phil. But one comedy club dedicated a night to roasting Philadelphia's public college. Update Spencer Traybold has fun with this one.
And a fact that a Temple University graduate with a Temple University degree can get any job at Temple University.
Temple students took the opportunity to make fun of themselves at the Vox Populi Theater on Friday night for the roast of Temple University. The show was the 4th installment of Good Comedy's Burn It Down series.
So what we do is we roast institutions. So the first one we did was we roasted the Citywide, and then we roasted SEPTA. Last month was the PPA, and then this month was Temple's turn to get crapped on.
A panel was made up of 3 Temple students, all who had an axe to grind with their university.
Becky, Temple University, is it still a frat house if it's in an apartment?
Alex Grubard, a member of the panel and Temple University senior, said this gave him a chance to talk about the things he actually experiences on campus.
It was fun. It was fun because I think this stuff every day. I try to write like Temple-related jokes and just school jokes all the time.
And other students agree that it's all in good humor.
It's just fun. Like, yeah, we're roasting Temple. It's like, this is why we hate Temple, but you roast the ones you love.
Nothing was held back tonight here as 50-plus people gathered for the roast of Temple University. Now, if you're interested in hearing more about roasts in Philadelphia, visit goodcomedy.com. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Spencer Traybold.
Thank you, Spencer. That's all for Temple Update. For the latest news, check out templeupdate.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
For Becca Hendrickson and the rest of the Update team, I'm Phil DuPont, and we'll see you next time.